10 amazing alphabet from around the world. 1. Balinese. The Balinese alphabet is what is known as an abugida, a writing system where one of the main characteristics is that the basic units are consonant-vowel combinations with a focus on the consonant. The alphabet is mainly used in Bali, Indonesia, where the alphabet is usually known as Aksarbaki or Hanakaraka. It is a descendant of the Burmese script and is used today to write Balinese, Old Javanese, and Sanskrit, although the first to have switched to the Latin script to a large degree. 2. Burmese. The Burmese alphabet is another descendant of the Burmese script, and like many of its cousins, is made up of beautiful, elaborate curves and curls. The alphabet can be traced back for at least 10 centuries, and like other abugidas, its letters essentially represent syllables, with markings known as diacritics added to the consonants in order to indicate the vowel to be used in the syllable. Traditionally, like many of the languages and alphabets it is related to, written Burmese had no spaces between words. 3. Cherokee. The Cherokee alphabet is one of the most exceptional alphabets in existence, largely because of how it came to be. Unlike most other scripts we know, it wasn't developed over time, far back in history, but was invented very recently, only in the early 19th century. What's more amazing is that it was invented by a man who, until then, could not read not just his own Cherokee language, but any language at all. 4. The Sushaba. The Sushaba alphabet is another rare and unique script, this time from Tibet. This is a pictographic script, and it is primarily used in religious texts and ceremonies. The words, or rather pictures, are created using a brush made of bamboo or animal hair. Apart from the style of the drawings, what makes the script unique is the fact that it uses colored inks, and the colors affect the meaning. 5. Giaz. The Giaz alphabet is one more syllable alphabet, and the two main churches that continue to use it believe that its 26 letters were discovered through divine revelation with the intention of recording religious law. The alphabet is unusual in that the language it was first developed for the Giaz language is now no longer in use except in the religious ceremonies of a few churches. The main ones being the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church and the Eritrean Orthodox Tewahedo Church. However, the script was adopted by other languages in Ethiopia and Eritrea, which is why it is still fairly widely used. These include Semitic languages such as Amharic and Tigrinya, as well as Tigre and Blin. 6. Javanese. The Javanese alphabet is closely related to the Balinese alphabet, which we described earlier, and like Balinese, it too has descended from the Burmese script. As a result, the two have many similarities. The Javanese script is also ornate and decorative, and is used by many languages in Indonesia, including Sanskrit, which is the sacred language of many religious texts and ceremonies. Both scripts are similar to many other South Asian scripts, but are said to be the most beautiful and calligraphic in their style. 7. Mongolian. The Mongolian alphabet, also known as Hudam-Mongol-Bikig, is a beautiful vertical script that is described as a true alphabet, one where the letters include separate consonants and vowels. There are of course many vertical scripts in the world, but the Mongolian script is particularly beautiful. And also intriguing, anyone unfamiliar with it is likely to mistake it for Arabic that is being held up the wrong way. Part of the beauty of the script is because it holds visual harmony to be very important, and the shape of a letter may be modified depending on its position and the letter that comes after it? 8. Show. There are many beautiful and interesting scripts on this list, but probably nothing as utterly fascinating as the NSHU script. Unfortunately, the use of NSHU has almost entirely died out today, however. This is a script that everyone ought to know about. The name NSHU literally translates to women's writing, which is what it was, a script that was used exclusively by women. Because Chinese society during the 13th and 14th centuries practiced strict segregation of the sexes and forbade women from learning to read and write, women in a remote part of the Hunan province developed this script for themselves. NSHU was based on the Chinese script that was in use at the time, but it somewhat compressed and distorted or modified the characters so as to be unrecognizable to outsiders, and invented a few characters of its own. 9. Ogham. Ogham is yet another unusual and beautiful script, and most people wouldn't even recognize it as a script. If you weren't told, you'd probably assume it was a decorative inscription resembling a tree. You wouldn't be entirely wrong, though. The script is in fact known as the Celtic tree alphabet, and many of the letters have names that traditionally referred to trees and shrubs. Ogham was used to write early Irish and Old Irish, and although it is no longer actively used except by neo-pagans in their rituals, inscriptions can be found all over Ireland and in some parts of Britain too. 10. Sinhala. The last script on our list is another Abugida, and this one is also part of the family that has descended from the Burmese script. The Sinhala script is widely used in Sri Lanka to write the Sinhala language, as well as for Sanskrit and Pali in religious texts. The Sinhala alphabet consists of 2 sets of letters, which is why it is sometimes said to actually be 2 separate alphabets. The core set of letters is used to write words in the native Sinhala language, and an extended set is used for words from Pali, Sanskrit, and sometimes English. The Sinhala alphabet is probably the most widely used alphabet on our list. You'll see it almost everywhere in Sri Lanka, from signboards to newspapers to books, and even as graffiti. Thank you for watching.